This is why no nation wants to fight the T-90MS tank. Herein lies one of the strengths inherent to Russian arms exports. Instead of focusing on selling the latest, greatest, and most technologically advanced equipment, the T-90 family focuses instead on tried-and-true technologies, incrementally improving them onto a compact, affordable platform. The T-90 and associated variants are one hell of a tank, may be the best in Russian inventories. Relatively modern, they sport many levels of armor and capabilities, are easily upgradable, and continue to supply armies all over the world. Vlad be nimble, Vlad be quick. The T-90 family of tanks are a mix of old and new. The readily available and mass-producible T-72 hull was paired with a more advanced current from the T-80 family, firmly in the Russian design tradition of incremental changes rather than broad, new designs. It also relies on traditional Russian tank design, standard since the Second World War, squat and low-profile hull and turret, which together offer opponents a smaller target to aim at. An automatically loading cannon eliminates a loader crew member, bringing the total crew to 3, which also aids in keeping the tanks small and compact, compared to the M1 Abrams, or the Leopard family, which are considerably larger and both require a crew of 4, with loader. Tanking on the cheap. One of the T-90's greatest strengths is its price. Although newer model T-90MS is about $4.5 million, the earlier and cheaper T-90 designs are still available for purchase and export, and cost considerably less, around $2.5 to $3.5 million. According to another national interest contributor, this is an attempt by Russia to target the higher segments of the heavy armor market. For such an affordably priced tank, the T-90 features effective armor. In 2016, a T-90 was filmed in Syria taking a hit from an American-designed TOW missile. While the TOW missile struck the tank, the T-90's Contact 5 armor, explosive reactive, detonated the missile, saving the tank from a knockout hit. Not bad for an export tank. Russia's T-90 tank can do some serious damage. The workhorse of Russia's main battle tank, MBT force, the T-90 has distinguished itself over its 3 decades of service not only as one of Russia's most versatile and capable MBTs, but as a remarkably successful export product. The T-90 was conceived as part of a program to unify a slew of Soviet tanks including the T-72B, T-80U, and aging T-64 into a single MBT. The guiding idea was to cut down on the resource strain of serially producing several tanks at once, as well as to lay the foundations of a fresh platform for the future growth of Russia's MBT industry. Introduced in 1992, the T-90 is an amalgam of time-tested and class-leading features in late Soviet tank design. In essence, the T-90 concept is an attempt to outfit the efficient, reliable, and cost-effective T-72 hull with many of the advanced features found on the T-80 series. The original T-90 boasts a 3-layered protection system. First, there is the welded steel T-72 shell, and the composite armor found on the turret and the sides. Then, there is the Contact 5 explosive reactive armor, ERA, that was first introduced on the T-80U. Finally, there is the Shtora 1 countermeasures suite, a collection of tools including infrared obscuring smoke grenades and 360-degree laser warning receiver to disrupt enemy targeting systems. Coming in at just short of 50 tons, the T-90 is over 10 pounds lighter than the similar Abrams M1A2. The tank's layout is broadly similar to the T-72, with a driver toward the front, engine in the rear, and 2-man turret in the middle. The T-90 offers a versatile weapons loadout, spearheaded by a standard 2A46M 125mm smoothbore gun that is capable of firing several different types of munitions, specifically high-explosive anti-tank, HEAT-FS, and high-explosive fragmentation, HEFRAG, and armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding SABO, APFSDS, rounds in addition to guided anti-tank missiles. The cannon supports an automatic loader mechanism, cutting crew size down to 3. The T-90's improved fire control system facilitates effective targeting in night conditions, and at relatively high speeds, assuming a sufficiently skilled gunner. T-90's blend of reliable and affordable performance made it an export hit across the developing world. The initial export variant, the T-90S, is largely the same as the original, but subsequent models featured wide-ranging performance improvements. The later T-90A offered an improved smoothbore cannon, as well as a new V92S2 engine, a thermal imaging system, and more durable construction. The latest T-90M domestic and T-90MS export models featured more radical upgrades still, including the latest iterations of the 2A46M cannon, advanced V92S2F engine capable of outputting 1130 to 1300 horsepower, improved Kalina fire control system with an integrated targeting suite, new remote-controlled weapon station, RCWS, and GLONASS navigation compatibility for the T-90MS. Despite the introduction of the vastly more advanced T-90MS, the cheaper T-90S remains a popular export product because the two tanks target different price segments of the global arms market. Serving in just under a dozen countries over 30 years after its introduction, the T-90 and its many variants are a potent reminder of what can be accomplished with a commitment to practical and cost-effective design. Easily upgradable. The new T-90M tank will bolster Russia's arsenal of battle tanks and be an attractive product for export. Russia's military and defense industry have big plans for the country's workhorse T-90 main battle tank, MBT. A defense industry insider told Russian state news outlet TASS that the T-90M Proryev MBT is getting an additional set of optoelectronic upgrades. During the Army 2021 International Forum, the static display of the main agency of automobiles and tanks of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation showcased, for the first time, the T-90M Proryev main battle tank with an additional set of an optoelectronic system. It was one of the first prototypes, which will be tested in military exercises soon, the source said. The first batch of T-90M tanks was delivered to the Guards Tank Army of the Western Military District in April 2020. Those earlier models apparently did not feature this new optoelectronic system. TASS source noted that Russia's defense ministry will evaluate this version of the tank and make a final procurement decision following the end of state trials. The nature of the upgrades being proposed to the T-90 remains vague. Prior versions of the T-90 have featured the Shtora 1 electro-optical active protection system, but it is not immediately clear exactly how that system is improved on these newer models. The T-90M is the latest revision of Russia's T-90, a third-generation MBT that entered service in 1993. The M revision features a modernized turret design with the Kalina fire control system, further armor improvements, the latest version of the popular Soviet/Russian 2A46M 125mm smoothbore cannon, and the latest version of Russia's Relikt explosive reactive armor, ERA, over the contact ERA system of prior models. The TASS report suggests that the full extent of the T-90M upgrade package has not yet been finalized, with certain additions still under review. It is estimated that there are 20 T-90MS currently serving in Russia's ground forces, which means that they are currently more of a placeholder than a viable combat force. But the original T-90 is backward compatible with the T-90M revision, and Russia's military is planning to upgrade much of its existing fleet of T-90 and T-90A tanks to the M standard by the mid-2020s. Russia's T-90M modernization effort looms against the backdrop of a larger tank procurement project, the next-generation T-14 Armata MBT, expected to enter serial production around 2022. Russia's chief state arms export agency, Rosoboronexport, announced in late August that a light T-90 version is in the works, adding that the tank is oriented toward export markets. Rosoboronexport expects production of a lighter version of this tank, the T-90, adapted to requirements of certain foreign customers. This will significantly improve its export attractiveness, the agency noted. A lighter T-90 variant could help the tank to better compete against China's new VT-5 light tank in international export markets, presenting a potentially attractive option to importers looking for a more mobile alternative to the widely successful T-90S export variant and its later variants. There are approximately 350 T-90/T-90A tanks actively serving in Russia's armed forces, with several hundred more units in storage. Herein lies one of the strengths inherent to Russian arms exports. Instead of focusing on selling the latest, greatest, and most technologically advanced equipment, the T-90 family focuses instead on tried-and-true technologies, incrementally improving them onto a compact, affordable platform. The Rosoboron export website, the T-90's exporting entity, reflects this when describing the T-90MS, the latest T-90 variant. The tank features improved mobility and steerability achieved through the installation of a higher power engine, automatic gear shift control, and wheel steering control. While retaining a low silhouette, optimal weight, high mobility and capability to cross the most difficult obstacles at high speed and stride, which are traditional for Russian tanks, the T-90MS has acquired a contemporary level of protection and survivability. That strategy has evidently worked. T-90 and associated variants have been exported to Algeria, Azerbaijan, India, Iraq, Libya, Syria, Turkmenistan, Uganda, and Vietnam.